Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to our Pathfinder and the Wrath of the Righteous playthrough. We're recording these episodes live on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday. Feel free to stop by and join us for Pathfinder in the PM. Also, very quick reminder, because chat reminded me, on November 6th, we're doing a 24-hour charity live stream to raise money to help sick kids at the Arnold Palmer Hospital in Orlando, Florida. We're hoping to raise $37,000 this year. That's the goal that we're shooting for, to help them out. I think this is my 12th year doing this fundraiser. We're back in our camp. We just heard word that Hellknights, a nearby military faction, are in need of aid. They are on the other side of the river, which luckily for us, we just cleared out and should be able to make it to the other side. One of the Hellknights just barely managed to escape what he described as a gargoyle attack, where enemies were just picking up his allies, flying into the sky and dropping them to their deaths. Could you imagine that sight? It came down to me as the commander to decide whether or not we wanted to help out this person, who apparently is part of a pretty gnarly faction. The Hellknights apparently are pretty fucking rough and tough motherfuckers. But we'll do our best to help out any ally. A friend in need is a friend indeed. However, on my way out, this is why we're still here. A mysterious elf, who we think is a spy, has made their way back into my camp. Hello? What the hell do you want from me? Hillor? Hillor? Who was that elf? Well, she introduced herself, but she was greatly interested in the volunteers that had joined the army. She thought I might know the elf she was looking for from my mercenary contacts. But I couldn't tell you any more than that. She never shared her name. All right, if she comes back, I want to know. Well, good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. All right. Hammond.
Forwards. No backwards.
I gotta find the door. This is our camp that actually moved up. It only took me 25 minutes to find this spot on the map when we were trying to rest here, which was a little jarring. But this area should give us access to the other side of the bridge, and hopefully we can figure out just what is going on. The Nameless Ruin is something else. We need to head towards the reliable redoubt, right? Yes, the Hellknights are in that direction. So let's start to head southwest down this path. So far, so good. Enemy blocks the way. Oh, well, get the army in there. Well, excuse me. Liz spotted an army of demons up in front of her. She called forth her army to take them down so that she may move. Oh my God. Look at this guy. Our army should be able to take this down, no problem. I've never seen a demon quite like that, though. We're going to fire off a scorching ray at one of our enemies. It appears as though he might be a little resistant to fire damage or something, or just damage in general. That enemy's making me a little nervous with their positioning. This area here is actually blocked, and the fact that he walked right up to that makes me think that he could jump right over. My God, when you're right, you're right. This target has a lot of health remaining. We're going to move our archers in the back line, try to get them away from him. We may end up losing some rangers here. Even swinging into this thing, he's not taking much damage at all. How do I see how much health this guy has? Our archers still continuing to scoot away, going to deal 13 damage. He still has 25 remaining. Press Y. Oh, okay. Well, it should only take a few more attacks then. No, hit points 230. Am I gonna lose? Bro, These are the tankiest things I've ever seen. All of these attacks just to get through one? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Bro, I'm about to lose my whole fucking army. Yeah, get in there. Keep swinging. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Good. Run away. Are these gargoyles gonna wait for me to come back with the new dudes? I'm not even scratching them, dude. All right. There's nothing fancy I could be doing here, right? I'm just kind of swinging endlessly. Okay, you're back in? Hey guys, only 16 more gargoyles to go. You're doing great. Keep it up. Oh, 15 more. We're getting them. Oh no. 14 gargoyles remain. While retreating, your army will lose 67% of its soldiers. Nah, keep going. You're doing great. Why did the queen think I would be a good commander? Because I saw an angel inside of a rock? Hey, just go get that gargoyle. Believe in yourself. Well, Commander, I have bad news. We lost the entire fucking army. Well, I have bad news for you. Over 200 of our men walked into that army today. And only the general walked out. Apparently I can level up the general. I should probably do that. Well, I hope your Hellknights are pretty comfy over there. How do I get my army back? Canaver's Crusader. Did I click on you? Hey, little one. They say you could do magic. An old silver-haired fighter sizes Ember up skeptically, apparently baffled to find such a young girl in the middle of the war. He's cradling a wounded arm, which has been hastily bandaged. Can you heal me?
Yes.
Of course. Ember whispers a spell and touches the bloody bandage. Oh, thank you. That's so much better. The soldier rips off the blood-caked rags and strokes the healthy skin underneath them. How old are you? You're only a child. I have a granddaughter at home just like you. Oh, little girl, how did you end up here? What are you doing here in the thick of it with us? Ember gives him a light-hearted smile. I'm just like you. I came to the thick so that the thick wouldn't come to the other kids, like your granddaughter. Oh my god. Ember's the best person in this game. The Crusader says, well, I'll be so literal and yet more courage than some officers. The old man runs his rough hand over her hair, and she smiles up at him again. The crow on her shoulder rubs its head on his hand like a cat. Talking to you takes a load off my mind. I reckon it's not just my arm that you healed. The soldier leaves, shaking his head pensively. Ember waves happily, then turns around and notices you. Hi, she says. Looks like your words really got to him, Ember. The demon's claws don't just rip through our bodies, but also our souls. Magic can heal cuts and broken bones, but wounds that hurt most, they've not invented a spell for that. But you know, it's surprising. So many soldiers come to me, they say I bring them comfort, that I give them strength. But I don't do anything like that at all. I only talk to them nicely. I'm just a feather-brained little girl. What if something I say is wrong? Maybe I should keep quiet. But I could tell that my words make them feel better. I guess I'm just confused. Hey, Ember, don't second-guess yourself. You're helping all of us. Every single one of us. You think so? I think I'm just wandering around saying silly things. She chafs a scarred finger on her cheeks and then breaks into a smile. All right. It must be true if you say so. Fucking Ember's the best of us, dude. She's the best of us. She's our party's moral compass, I swear to God. I can't read your name because it's blue. Pastan! Thank you for the 1,000 bits. I just had to fucking get closer. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. And for the gifted subs earlier, too. Okay. Let's rest. I don't know how, but I forgot that I don't automatically rest when I get back to camp. Everyone's going to settle in. Everyone's going to be totally fine. And then we have to scrounge up an army to go fight some fucking gargoyles somehow. I don't know how to convince anyone to do that. When my selling point is, hey, just lost 200 soldiers to some gargoyles. Who wants to get in this? Who wants to come fight some fucking gargoyles? You know, it'll be fun. Come on. Go. Our army is marching back into the damned gargoyles. My general is rested. I now have clerics and a sneeze in the chamber. Let us cast Scorching Ray. That's gonna immediately take down 2 of the gargoyles. Our archers are gonna fire off a shot. The footmen are going to move forward, anticipating the gargoyles coming over the impassable terrain. And our clerics will move up to their side as well. The gargoyle immediately going for the back line. We're going to see our ooh, that's not who I wanted to move. We're going to cast Smite Evil onto the gargoyle and take a swing. Knocking another one out. That's pretty good. Our archers are going to move away. Our commander is going to fire off another Scorching Ray, taking down 2 of the gargoyles as our archers take a shot for 27 damage. Our footmen finally getting into the fray now with only 8 gargoyles remaining, taking a swing. Our cleric with another swing as well. Our general, another Scorching Ray, taking down 2 more of the gargoyles. They are being reduced to nothing. Granted, I had to commit my entire life savings into this fight, but I think we're going to be able to take it. 4 gargoyles remaining. A shot from the archers as the gargoyles seem locked in battle with our clerics for some reason. Can you do it? Woo! Quite different from what we just did, huh? Quite different indeed. Quite different indeed. I'm sure you heal your troops before you win, so you res as much as possible. Oh, I see. This mode seems really strange. It's so different from the game that I've been playing for the last 30 hours. So fucking different. But our army has cleared a path, and now Liz and her party can move to the Hellknights location to assist them. I hope they don't mind waiting 2 weeks, because I think that might be how long we waited. We waited a really long time before we reinforced them. Hopefully there's not too many more gargoyles out here. Let's start to prepare.
My favorite aid.
Ninio's going to...
You're a good person. I like you.
Mage armor herself.
I'm here.
So is Ember. So is Wildred. Sela's going to mount her trusty steed, Mary. And we see Yacker down the path. And we start moving for him. This is the Hell Knight who went to our camp asking for aid. And that appears to be a gargoyle dead on the ground. Commander, come here quickly! He shouts as he moves to the edge of a cliff. From the mountain, you see a raided camp and two groups of warriors, one wearing white and yellow armor, the other in black. They are led by a tall man in white priestess robes. Some of the warriors glance around fretfully, their weapons shaking in their hands. You hear the screams of gargoyles from above. The beasts are approaching the camp.
Quickly, evacuate the wounded. The beasts are about to strike again. Use cloaks as stretchers. We've got to make it through. Paralictor, your people will have to cover us while...
We're back to voice acting. This must be important.
2 more minutes left out in the open, and neither you nor I will have any troops left to order about, Crusader.
Who's this guy? I've seen his art before. Regill? Regill?
But the wounded...
Oh! They just killed the...
Retreat to shelter.
Who am I helping? Why am I here? The one called Paralictor makes a barely noticeable gestures, and the swords of his troops execute the wounded. Problem solved. The man in white has anything further to add. His words are drowned out by the shrieks of gargoyles as they fall from the sky. Oh, they're doing all right. The Paralictor will lead this unit to shelter. We need to get through to them. Okay. Oh, fuck! As gargoyles land on the path before us. This is a flat-footed round, correct? It'd be a shame if you had some misfortune, wouldn't it? We are going to see Woljif throw a glitter dust forward, hopefully blinding our adversaries. A single shot from Lan into a gargoyle, dealing pretty decent damage. Seela's going to begin to move forward as well. It seems as though our party is pretty capable of fighting gargoyles. At least that's my initial impression. Slightly out of range. I don't think I can throw anything this turn, but Ninio... Oh, she can. Ready's a snowball, hitting a gargoyle directly in the head and killing him on impact. Can you be demoralized? Hey, you gargoyles suck! Oh my god, they have feelings. That means Liz is in her element. Hammond's gonna move up side by side with Seela. And now it's the gargoyle's turn to react. We see one move up, trying to take a bite at Hammond, but that bite does not land. It'd be a shame if you had some misfortune, wouldn't it? Another gargoyle moving up to the side of Hammond with a swing, but it does not connect. Woljif moving up to his bear companion with a sneak attack for 24 damage to the chest of the gargoyle on the right as another attack comes towards Hammond. We've all seen this before. Lan takes a quick moment to find silence inside of his mind, focuses on his key, and fires off 4 shots at the center gargoyle.
Make every strike count.
The first shot hitting for 15. The second killing the other gargoyle. And with only a few hit points remaining, Seela moves in and decapitates the final gargoyle with a swing of her longsword. I wish my fucking group could have fought in that fight instead of my army, dude. If it was my party in that battle, we would have been fine. 1 entangling roots, we're good to go. I just told everyone to attack. I don't know how that works. Right? There are some more gargoyles on the path up ahead. Woljif moving forward with a sneak attack of 25. As a gargoyle hunter notices Woljif, moves forward with an attack of his own, but it does not connect. We then see Lan go for a shot on the gargoyle on the left. What was that? Oh, Woljif just took a little bit of a hit. Smite Good was the ability that was used. Let's try a burning arc. Ember takes a step forward, fires off a burning projectile that should bounce in between these gargoyles. We're going to see it hit for a pretty decent amount of damage. Some of them getting hit for 13, some for 6. And that's going to end Ember's turn.
Into the
As Sela charges to the front of the battle with a swing of the longsword, taking down one of the gargoyles. Ninio's turn has come. She's going to just use a cantrip. Save some of our spell slots in here. Liz trying to move up to the front line as well, but she is pretty slow. Hammond moving up next to her is going to go for a swing on the gargoyle on the right, connecting for 10 damage. Woljif turns to the same gargoyle, hoping for a sneak attack, and he finds it. Woo! Woo! That was a lot of math, and I'm not doing it. Lan then follows up with some shots of his bow, and that's going to take down the final of the gargoyles as the party composes itself and continues onward, closer to the battle royale happening at the bottom of the hill. Yeager standing over the body of some of his companions. Bastard, sorta. 3 pounds, unidentified. We also see some full plate on the ground that weighs 50 pounds. Would full plate be worth when Sela's already wearing half plate of vigor? That's 10 AC on that, where the full plate has 10. No, we're good. Although that was... No, the full plate has 9. I actually looked at the wrong one. Yeah, so we're good. We're good, we're good. You okay? The sight before you was one... It was... I can't read. Can't fucking read, dude. The sight before you is at once macabre and picturesque. A lifeless couple, a man and a woman dressed in white and yellow priestess robes, lie on the ground surrounded by bodies of dead gargoyles. They are tangled in death. The claws of the monsters are tearing at the human's clothes, and the largest gargoyle talon has pierced the man's chest and punctured his heart. But before they died, he or his companion defeated the enemy. Suddenly, the woman opens her eyes. She doesn't look at you, but stares up at the world rune's horrific red and black sky. Her pale lips open, and she exhales abruptly. The sun will never rise again. Even the sky here is cursed, and we along with it. Yeager, walking in the front, steps over the man's body without looking, but turns around at the sound of the woman's voice. The Mendevian faithful breaks too easily. Ember says, all people are easily broken. The knights in pale armor help each other through the horror. But the knights in the black only break each other and everyone around them. Step over her and walk away? What the fuck? Oh, heal the woman. The woman pushes you away with a weak gesture. Expend your efforts somewhere on someone who can be helped. Leave me. My crusade is over. Okay, well. I guess I'm gonna do a little evil. Step over her and walk away. She declined it. Why is it evil at that point if she declined it?
This way.
That doesn't make sense. Let's move up to the camp where this battle was happening previously. We still see gargoyles here after the main army retreated. Ember is going to cast Molten Orb. And it's a big ol' miss. Sela runs up to the front. She is going to be able to get a swing off on one of these gargoyles. And it's a critical hit, killing it in a single swing. The gargoyle hunter starts to move towards the party, but Hammond finds himself in the perfect spot to intercept. Another gargoyle taking a swing at Sela, but nothing connecting. Woljif, seeing the gargoyle move up towards his bear, moves in with his daggers for a sneak attack, but unfortunately misses. Lan takes a shot at the same gargoyle, hitting for 19, followed by 17, followed by a miss. As the gargoyle then blesses his party. That looked like a bless to me. That looked like a bless to me. Did I ever tell you that gargoyle wings are Hammond's favorite dinner? And it looks like he'll be eating well tonight. I have a fireball. And I know where it's gonna go. Right here. As Ninio steps forward, flame in hand, throwing it towards the gargoyles in the back. The fireball connects for... Okay. 13 damage on the ones in the front and 8 on the ones in the back. Hey! I killed all your friends up there! How do you feel? Liz shouts out in an attempt to demoralize one of the gargoyles. I think Ember's gonna fire off a scorching ray. 11 damage done to the gargoyle. Sela following that damage up with 2 swings of her own, immediately taking out one, and then hitting the other on the recoil of her swing. Woljif moves up again, dagger in hand. This time, 32 damage done to the gargoyle. Hey, where do these guys come from? I was looking at the chat log. They must have just landed because I can't attack them yet. Lan is going to look over to the gargoyle cleric.
Make every strike count.
And fire off one shot after he gets in range for 18 damage. Gargoyle hunter moving towards our party sees Woljif and manages to hit him for 7 damage. Hold person being cast as well, but Woljif managed to shrug off the debuff as the gargoyle makes another move for Hammond. Hammond takes a swing of his own for 9 damage, followed by 7 and another 9. Ninio is going to fire a shot with the crossbow, not connecting to the target. Liz, pretty far away, is going to... Liz is going to... summon in a giant frog in between her and the gargoyle that's rushing her on the backside. As the frog is coming into reality, we are going to fire off a crossbow bolt from Ember at the closest gargoyle, yet again not connecting. She does have point blank, so I don't feel like that's a terrible play, but unfortunately it just didn't connect. If Sela moves to the cleric, she's not going to be able to attack twice, so we're going to go to the hunter to our side and deal just a fucking massive amount of damage. Dude, Sela is popping off, actually. Sela's doing some serious shit over here. Woljif, feeling inspired, swings with his daggers as well, but unfortunately misses both attacks. Lan is going to fire off 3 shots at the cleric in the back. First hitting for 19, followed by a solid 18, and then a miss on the other end. The gargoyle that just flew in tries to get a bite of Hammond as well, even though the frog was immediately next to him. They're not able to connect with much. We do see Woljif taking another 7 damage. He is below half health at this point. Hammond is going to probably attack the weakest gargoyle here with a single swing, taking him down for 9 damage, following up with 18 damage on the other gargoyle to his side. We're then going to see a conjured snowball leave the hands of Ninio, traveling directly for the gargoyle, but he manages to move his face right out of the way. Liz moves up with scythe in hand, stepping by Ninio with a swing for 7 damage. And the gargoyle still stands. Ooh, I want to do burning hands, but it's not safe here. Let's just do a nice, easy scorching ray on the gargoyle. 17 damage as Ember eviscerates any form of gargoyle that was left there previously. Sela, with a simple swing of her sword, takes down one of the nearby gargoyles as well, as she then advances towards the cleric of the party. We're going to see Woljif following same with a swing. And missing. Oh, luckily for him, Lan right behind him. Gonna fire a shot for 14, the second missing the third. Finishing off the cleric of the gargoyles as they are still desperately trying to deal any possible damage they can to Hammond. Of course, now that we're down to the last enemy, the frog decides to start participating in the battle. Hammond rallying with his forest friend. Deals quite a lot of damage, man. Hammond's popping off recently, too. Ninio's looking a little low on her spell slots. Let's just fire off a crossbow bolt here. That is going to connect for 2 damage. Liz, with a swing of her own, is going to connect for nothing as she hits the ground. Ember with a shot. 3 damage is enough. And the gargoyles have been taken down yet again.
Fine.
Woljif walks over to Ember and gets his heal for the day. 20 HP returned. Come on, Frog. You're coming with us. We got a lot of loot to pick up. Ooh, tons of health potions on the ground. Healing scrolls, more health potions. Looks like the Hellknights. I mean, I guess we knew they weren't doing particularly well, but there's a lot of them dead on the ground there. We do have some loot and some scrolls on the body of the girl we climbed over to get over here, which I still don't understand how that's an evil action when I tried to help her first, and then she said, "Hey, go on ahead. It's okay. You can go. I don't need to go with you." I don't know why I'm evil after doing that. Woljif sees the locked chest and can't help himself, and he finds himself a hide barding inside. This is the second hide barding we've picked up in 2 episodes. Consecutively, back-to-back hide bardings. This barding is likely going to be for Mary, although I don't know how her progression works. Is Mary able to wear heavy barding eventually? How do I see this? Character? Class. Looks like I'm gonna have to spec into it with a feat. Maybe. I'll cross that road when we get there. A little bit of cheese as well as some fish inside of the food stores of the Hellknights.
Forwards. No, backwards.
Where did our Hell Knight friend go? Did he go deeper in this direction? Keeping our eyes open for him, we'll continue to loot as we go. I keep hitting spacebar to collect everything like it's Divinity. This seems to be a dead end here. This elemental rock formation thing is very similar to what we saw outside of a cave earlier. Speaking of which, this may be where they ventured off to. Only person in our party really injured at this point is Woljif, and he should be okay. Oh, you guys all made it inside. Hey. Liz moves up to talk to them.
I presume. Your glory precedes you. I am Regill de Renge, Paralictor of the Order of the God Claw, and temporary officer of the joint unit of Hellknights and the Order of the Sunrise Sword. You and your people should take positions. The gargoyles are regrouping. We expect they will attempt to break through in 5 to 6 minutes.
You guys are a joint unit, huh? Before I get to that, the moment you step across the threshold, you're targeted with pale yellow eyes. A gnome with considerable gray in his hair, dressed in black armor, lowers his head slightly. You guys are a joint unit?
Forcibly joined. The leader of the Order of the Sunrise Sword was unable to get to safety, which is not surprising, considering his, shall we say, excessive scrupulousness and sluggishness. Given the extreme situation, I took command of his people.
I've never heard a gnome who doesn't sound like, "Oh, hey, mister. How you doing? Make stuff all the time. It's great. I'm gonna eat you." You know what I mean? He's so composed. His voice is so deep. He speaks with conviction.
Just great. Paladins and Hell Knights all in the one troop. It's like catching the plague and the pox at the same time.
Technically speaking, there isn't much in common between these events. While Paladins may truly not be frequent members of Hell Knight orders, except for the Order of the God Claw, of course, the probability of contracting both plague and the pox is not all that low. One would simply have to engage in debauchery during an epidemic.
Of course, Ninio, of course.
Aw, Nenio, you're no fun.
Woljif chuckles and sticks his tongue out at Ninio.
It's supposed to be good when different people unite. We're here for a common cause. But it still gives me the creeps for some reason. Hellknights shouldn't be allowed to get their claws into our paladins. It's wrong.
Just as a reminder, Finian is the weapon in Woljif's right hand. I saw you ordered the wounded be finished off.
Indeed. The gargoyles were clearly trying to capture as many prisoners as they could. I don't know the reason behind these abductions, but I'm not about to give the enemy what they want. That is why all my people were ordered not to be taken alive. And as for the wounded, we didn't have time to get them to safety anyway.
It's kind of difficult to say you didn't have time when there was literally health potions everywhere on the ground that all they had to do was drink and get back up. That's all I'm saying.
Can you hear yourself? For the sake of principle, in order not to give the enemy what they want, you killed your own wounded. Helpless subordinates. Why does anyone still follow you?
Yes.
Because we are Hellknights. We know our duty.
Only someone who's never been responsible for the lives of others could feel any outrage at this decision. The wounded couldn't be saved. What good would it do to anyone if the rest perished along with them?
I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. All right, well, let's get rid of the gargoyles and then we'll talk, huh?
Agreed. Be ready, Commander. This attack may be worse than the last one.
Well, it better be, because that was a cakewalk.
No time for debates.
It was a fucking cakewalk, my dude. Also, we have so many dudes in here in an entrance spot, and there's only one entrance, right? Woljif puts his hands to his chest, and mirror images of himself fan out around him as he moves up towards the gargoyles. Lan is going to focus on his key because he doesn't have to move. This is going to be 4 attacks.
This!
With any luck, killing off a gargoyle. Yes, and dealing damage. Oh, they can fly, of course. Yeah, they can come in wherever they want. Ninio is going to cast a big ol' haste on her whole party. Hey, this won't affect enemies, right? Let's find out. Yeah, we're chilling. Big ol' haste being cast right there. Feel pretty good about that. We are going to see a smite good being used on one of the knights as they run up to face the gargoyle. Arrows being thrown from the back as well as Hammond moves up for a swipe of his own, unfortunately missing the gargoyle at the entrance. The ones that descended from the opening are starting to swing wildly at these soldiers that were taking refuge inside of this cave. 4 swings on Hammond at the top of the ramp, none of them landing, as Hold Person is also being cast on the far side. Hammond takes yet another swing at the gargoyle. He has 4 that he can use this turn, and with those 4 swings, that's going to be enough to remove that gargoyle entirely. We see a Hell Knight move up with a flail in his hand, and Yacker, the guy who went to our base, getting into combat with a dagger as well. Mobility check slightly beneath us. Not sure if that's something that we should do in combat or not. Liz is going to summon in as big of a group of frogs as she can manage around the gargoyle cleric in the back of the room. Ooh, 3 frogs isn't bad. That isn't bad. They'll start to act on their next turn. 1 swing manages to decapitate one of the remaining gargoyles in the back of the room. Is his name Regill? Manages to move up with a few solid swings of his own. Sela, moving across the cave, is going to move in for a 21 damage attack turn after her movement. As more and more gargoyles make their way into the cave entrance. We're going to see Ninio taking a hit here. She is going to cast Heroism. Excuse me. Ember is going to cast Heroism on land. Let me just say, I would not want to be on the other side of his bow right now. That's gonna be fucked. Land's gonna be doing some fucked up shit here in a second. That will conclude Ember's turn. Many of the soldiers still gather together in the back corner, even as gargoyles are moving in towards us. We're going to see Woljif move forward with a frigid touch of his hand onto the arm of the gargoyle, dealing 24 damage with his sneak attack bonus. Now the archer's continuing to fire off shots here as Lan finds a quick moment to clear his head. Focuses on his key and fires off 5 shots
Make every strike
at the hunter in the middle, taking him down, dealing damage around him to everyone nearby, even finishing off another one of the gargoyles on the ramp. As then spells start to be cast on our girl Liz, who hasn't had a turn to move yet. Ham's got to hold position. The Hell Knight in the back with the flail is going to try again and unfortunately miss with 2 more swings. Yacker moves in for some swings with that dagger. Bro, I can give you a bastard sword right now. Just come over and get it. That's no problem. And then Liz turns her attention to the ramp, in which she attempts to summon in more of her animal companions in that direction, bringing in 3 more frogs to hold the entrance, which of course won't do anything for another 25 minutes or so. The frogs in the back of the room begin to stir to life, trying to hit the gargoyle. Only one of them successful in their task. Smite Good being used on, I'm not sure who it was, but they were on the ramp. A critical hit of 28 is the damage that Regill managed to do. Seela moving forward with 3 attacks is easily going to finish off a gargoyle. And now we have some pretty long range attacks coming from the back corner. More gargoyles continuing to pile in that opening spot. Ember is going to cast Enlarge Person on land. Ooh, grows twice his size before everyone's eyes. We are then going to see Woljif move up closer to the gargoyle at the entrance with a swing of his dagger, dealing 9 damage. Lan focuses on his key once more. Fuck that, he doesn't even need... Fuck it, he doesn't even need to. 4 shots, finish it, Lan. 21 damage, 19 damage, 23 damage. And I think I miss. Ninio is gonna put a little bit of grease up at the top of the ramp. Just in case. Just in case anyone wants to come down there. I mean, they do have wings, so they probably don't even need to walk on it. But are they flying all the time? I don't know. Hammond moves in with the swipe of his claw, sending that gargoyle back to wherever the fuck he came from. As these Hell Knights tried to hold their own in the opening, it seems like they are losing more men by the moment. In fact, the one who came to our aid, the one who recruited us to come here, Yaker, looks like he's dead. No, he's still there. Never mind. He's right there. He's right fucking there. Too many nameplates in one area, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of nameplates, Liz then turns to the gargoyle-infested entrance and summons in 4 more fucking toads! Of course, they won't do anything for another 25 minutes. But hey, if they do something eventually, that'd be pretty cool, huh? Oh, look at this one walking. Oh, you gonna walk too? Fuck yeah. Get down there, bud. Yeah, go ahead. There's a lot of fucking frogs in the back of this game right now. I've never summoned in this much stuff before. I kind of hope this fight continues for a little bit longer. We are going to see Sela with a few swings, almost all of them missing. Liz has been afflicted with negative levels, huh? And that lasts for 13 hours. It's okay. You're doing all right, Liz. Ember is going to fire off a shot with the crossbow. One of them does connect. We're just going to stand here. These might be the remainder of the gargoyles here. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like they're sending in much more. Lan's going to take a step forward and fire a shot with his composite bow. That unfortunately does miss. The gargoyle tried to cast something and it did not work out for the gargoyle, as it took a lot of attacks of opportunity as a result. Pretty tight area over on this side. We're going to see magic missile being cast by Ninja, hopefully not affecting. She didn't want to hit anybody else here. Unfortunately, we didn't see much damage as a result of that cast. The archers continue to barrage the one remaining gargoyle as Hammond stands by his friend Woljith guarding the entrance. Hell Knight moving up with the flail does connect for 9 damage. Can my frogs kill him, please? Excuse me, can my frogs kill him, please? Guys, please don't kill him. Please stop. Liz delays her turn. Please. Hey, we did something. There's no enemies left. I don't know why we're still. Oh, there is an enemy left. One single gargoyle remains in the middle of this group. Liz readies the divine bolt. 1 to 3 damage is the maximum that it can do. She locks eyes with the gargoyle hunter in the middle of her frog army. She feels the power build inside of her hand, and then releases the divine bolt! As the frogs sing the song of their people in celebration. Okay, quiet down! Quiet down! Settle down! Bro, that's so funny. Frogs are so funny. Oh, the voice acting's over. Regill gracefully stows his weapon and places his hand behind his back. Yeah, you two, check the area. Mark any potential shelters that offer protection against the aerial attacks. Quartermaster, inventory the remnants of the camp. I want to make sure that the gargoyles only abducted people and weren't interested in anything else. Send messengers immediately to our scout squads and order them to return to camp. And I need a full list of casualties. The sooner, the better. He turns to you and nods slightly. Commander, your arrival is well timed. Now we can finally talk. I'm quite interested in the events that occurred in the Grey Garrison, and I suppose you have questions for me as well. Why do you want to know what happened in the Grey Garrison? Any shift in balance of power during this war has direct impact on my missions. If a new player appears who is capable of fighting demons effectively... I need a cough drop. Then I am ready to support that person with all of the resources I have at my disposal. Regill speaks pensively as if talking to himself. But naturally, I cannot blindly trust a stranger, even one marked by the gods. I'm going to be very tactful with what I say here. I'm not going to say shit about the gods. I'm going to say you have every right to doubt. I usually don't trust strangers either. So we understand each other. Thank you, Commander. Regill nods more to himself than to you. Is there anything you'd like to know before we move on to more serious issues? What are the Hellknights doing here within the borders of the Whirlwind? The same as you and your army. fighting a war against the demons. The Hellknights have always been a part of the Crusades from the very beginning. We don't answer to Queen Galfrey, and we act on our own authority, but we serve a common cause. Tuscari's spawn have no place in the world we want to build. Regill barks out his final words. Well, I did all this work to come save you and your squad. I'm gonna attack. I'm not gonna judge how he commands his people. Who gives a fuck? That's not my responsibility. So I'm not gonna talk about his atrocities. What does Paralictor mean, other than you're in charge? And the commander of this unit, and in the order of hierarchy, I'm 2 steps lower than its leader. In the territory of Mindiv and the World Wound, there are few who equal my rank, but I am the most senior Hell Knight officer for many leagues around. What are you going to do now after the gargoyle attack? We'll wait for the remaining fighters to return. What you see here is only a small part of my forces. As for my long-term plans, that depends on the result of our conversation, Commander. Regill narrows his eyes. Before we move on to a serious subject, I'd like to address an organizational issue regarding my unit. You may wish to be present. Yeager steps forward and salutes with a clenched fist to his chest. Paralictor. He was raspy. Paralictor. Permission to report. During the first gargoyle attack, I determined it necessary to leave my post. Swam over the river and found Commander's army and asked them to provide assistance. Regill nods. The reinforcements were much needed. You will earn double salary for your resourcefulness, Yeager, and 100 lashes for abandoning your post. The young knight grows a little pale, but immediately salutes again. Yes, Paralictor. The evil one. Hey, don't forget you abandoned your armor. That's pretty bad. I'm going to speak up. I wonder if it's foolish and overly harsh to punish Yeager for leaving his post when he did it to bring help. It'd be foolish and harsh, but entirely lawful to execute him for desertion. Regill peers at Yeager with pale yellow eyes. Did you know the location of the commander's squad at night? No, Paralictor. I assumed I might meet friendly troops on the other side of the river, but I couldn't know for sure. You see, Commander, of course, I could be gracious and look the other way, but that would mean that during the next battle, 10 or 20 of my men will think it's high time to run and get help. Initiative requires reasonable limits, not to mention 100 lashes is hardly a punishment for a true Hell Knight. I'd say it's more of a spiritual warm-up. Yeager gives you a serious look. Thank you for your concern, Commander, but I do not wish to evade fair punishment. I wouldn't be a Hell Knight if I did. Are you guys made of stone or what? They seem creepy. I kind of like them. Everything is so strange. They march in columns through the thicket, even though there's a regular smooth road nearby. Don't even try to figure out how their minds work. You'll make yourself crazy. Although I suppose it's a little late for you, huh? Bro, I picked the perfect voice for reading Wolf. It's so good. Regill, who has watched you closely throughout your entire conversation, nods to himself. Now for a more delicate issue. You, Commander. We're interested in our dispute with the Knights of the Order of the Sunrise Sword, correct? Their forces in Canibris suffered great losses in the demon attack, and now their leader has perished and his troops are in trouble. They are reeling with no command structure. Their order will hardly be able to recover from their losses that they've suffered. What are you getting at? Liz asks. These fighters aren't the finest material I've worked with, but I assume formal command over them. I'll be able to reforge them into weapons of reasonable quality. 1 or 2 might even become true Hell Knights. The rest will be put to good use as well. I'm gonna go with chaotic. No one but them has the right to decide their fate. Just because their leader died doesn't make you their leader. Regill looks at the warriors in white and yellow, shifting cheerlessly from one foot to another. Initiates of the Sunrise Sword, your leader is dead. The Order has suffered serious loss and will not be able to recover. You may return to Mindev to join another Crusader Order and hope they don't meet the same fate as the Sunrise Sword. Or you may remain under my command. I will not promise that it will be easy, or that our war-making will be constricted by your principles. What I can promise is this. Under my command, you will never again feel like helpless mice in the talons of ravenous raptors. A priestess in the back chimes up and says, does this mean we've worked off the precious resources you spent on us? The water, medicine, and bandages? Yells one of the knights in white and yellow. I wouldn't make such an offer if I thought you were useless garbage. The initiates of the Sunrise Swords consult with each other for a time. Then one of them, a young woman in knight's armor, steps forward. Thank you for your trust, Paralictor. We will stay. And we are ready to obey your orders. Fine. In due course, I will review your troops and make any necessary decisions regarding your role in my unit. Regill turns to you. And now, Commander, for the most important issue, cooperation between our forces. We do have a common enemy and a common battlefield. I passed a perception check. You're looking at me strangely, Paralictor. When we discussed Yakker's punishment, and when you were deciding the fate of the Sunrise Sword, it was as if you were testing me. Regill lowers his head in a gesture that might be read as respectful. I do not believe I made any attempt to conceal my interest in you, both as a new, strong leader in the region and as a bearer of a highly unusual power. Of course, I'd like to know what's inside of your head. One could say that is my duty. Very well. We do have a common enemy. My army and I are going to Dresden to free the city from demons. I lost so many units coming over here to the gargoyles, as I know you did as well. Your forces can join us. Regill rubs his chin pensively. Dresden! An ambitious goal, but most reasonable. I imagine how such a victory would rally all the separate bands of today's Crusaders under one banner, and we certainly need a base of operations inside of the Worldwound. I stand ready to support you. Moreover, I can accompany you in your campaign. However, I would remind you that Hellknights are outside of Mendev's jurisdiction. My unit and I will join your forces and obey your orders, but only as long as I deem that our goals coincide. I like his eyes, says Ember. They're still bright. Neither the darkness nor the paleness is taken from them for now. Hell no, says Sela. We don't need the likes of these black-armored statues. I don't want to fight side by side with someone who will slit my throat if I'm weak and wounded. You can't defeat one evil by inviting an equal evil, but slightly more organized evil into our ranks. Slightly more organized than the demons. I will consider that an insult. The small gnome looks up at Sela. I've never dealt with Hellknights before, but from what I've seen, they're serious fighters. That's just what we need. And just think how that armor will look in the paintings they make about our battles, Lance says. Liz extends her hand to the small-statured man and says, it's a deal. Yes, Commander. My forces and Regill Darreny are at your disposal. Shit, he can join my party? So if I want an evil kind of tank, he can be there instead of Sela? I kind of like Sela, my dude. You might have to just sit right the fuck there. Woo! After quite a lot of combat, we have successfully defeated all of the gargoyles. He's not really a tank. He's a melee DPS. Oh, I see. See, my problem is I'm so attached to the personalities of everyone in my party.
Pretty good, aren't I?
It's really difficult for me to want to be like, hey, new guy I don't know anything about, get in here. You could take Woljif's spot. You know what I mean? I like Woljif a lot, and he's kind of my melee dude. We get a Ring of Protection +2, a Demonic Heart, and Hail Strings. Oh, God. Hey, bud, you okay? We're still alive. Motherfucker just praised the sun. Motherfucker just praised the sun. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I was not expecting to see that. Maybe that's why they put it over here as a little Easter egg. The skeleton of a man wearing armor from the time of the First Crusade is holding a skeleton of a child with strange proportions and animal paws instead of a right arm and leg. Well, let's get back over this gap. We'll make our way out of this cave.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Get back to the map. Oh no! Oh no, they're trapping like flies! Oh no!
You require my unbiased opinion?
Nidio, quick! Nidio waves out her hand and dispels the grease. Well, grease seems real good. And on that note, after a tireless battle against gargoyle after gargoyle after gargoyle, this will be where our journey ends for tonight. Both for you on YouTube and those of you that are watching live on Twitch. Remember, we're recording these sessions twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're enjoying these episodes on YouTube, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button before you head out. And speaking of heading out, get me the fuck back to my camp, dude. I'm gonna go sleep. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, including everyone watching live. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you again very soon.